shit. So we're rolling?
We're rolling. But I got an intro going right now. So
Okay, cool.
intro screen's going. We'll play out for like a minute.
I'm like the worst, I guess, author with this shit. Like, you could ask me what any of these poems are about, and I know, but like, if you're like, oh, well, this poem, like, I could not turn right to it.
But you mean like you don't know what pages?
Yeah, I don't know,
It's
pages.
Like writing a bunch of songs, and I think that's pretty good.
Like, I'm really stuck. Like, every time I read through it, I'm like, this is cool. Like, I really like some of this work. That's Katie's butt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Katie.
You talk about butts.
Yeah. The original photo, you could see like her whole frame. I was taking a shit in her old house, and just the way the lighting was hitting her, it was like very 50-50, like black and white. I was like drunk too, and I was like, don't fucking move. She was like waiting on me to come to bed while I was taking a shit. Don't fucking move. And I took a picture of her. Yeah, basically.
Oh. All right. Okay, let me see if I got the chat popped out real nice and good. Liam, I wish you were on Twitch so you could tell me if things were looking good, because I know I got to watch it over here too. What's up, guys? We are here, and presumably queer. But I got my boy Colby Charles in the motherfucking building. It is the morning time. Good morning, man. How you feeling?
I'm a little hungover, but I'm okay.
What'd you do last night?
I have a friend and a coworker that was in town from New York.
Damn.
And I don't get to see her but like once a quarter. So just went and had like casual drinks, nothing crazy. I probably drank like 3, but just not enough water.
Gotcha.
And it's shit hot in Texas, baby.
Yeah. What kind of cocktails do you have?
One was like this mezcal, like really lime forward one at Tejas in Bishop Arts. And then after that, we went to this place called Atlas that I had never been to, again in Bishop Arts. And turns out like an old homie that I hadn't seen in a while was a bartender there. And I was like, yo, I trust you. Like, just something mezcal and fruity. So I don't know what it was, but.
Do you like mezcal?
You know, I get in a mood for it. It's a good summer drink.
Yeah.
Because like if you're not trying to get like wasted in the summer in Texas, but like you still want something that's strong. Like you drink 2 really strong mezcal drinks and you can be like buzzing.
Yeah, see, I don't like mezcal, man. Like my buddy told me, he was like, you need to try it. It tastes like a campfire. Tried it. And then he was like, doesn't it taste like Copenhagen? And ever since he told me that, I can't stand mezcal anymore.
Oh, well, I definitely don't fuck with Copenhagen, but yeah.
It tasted like tobacco. He's like, because I started thinking campfire. I was like, it does taste like campfire. And then he's like, think about it tasting like Copenhagen. And I did. And I was like, okay, this is terrible. I can't do it anymore. There's
a dope ass bar. It's a mezcaleria over in Fair Park called Las Almas Rotas.
I don't know. I don't think I've been there.
And they do anything tequila, mezcal, anything like that. Some of the best margaritas you'll have in Dallas.
Oh, damn.
So if you want to like give mezcal another try, go there and they'll hit you with the business.
Okay, bet I can definitely get hit with the business. Yo, what's up? I'll do another little intro just because we kind of jumped into the combo. It's your boy Loonar. This is a Lunar Lounge podcast. I got a special guest here, Colby. I've known this guy for probably over a decade now. But the Lunar Lounge podcast is a place where you laugh, cry, maybe even think a little bit, allegedly. I'm kidding, but seriously. But I've known Colby for a hot minute. We were in college together. We did fraternity together. We got shit on in marching band together, and we've just kept up after that. And, you know, we've been boys ever since. Yeah. But just for the people watching that don't know anything about you, do you have like a quick spiel of like, who is Colby? Like, who's Colby Charles? Besides a legend.
I'll take that. So I'm the legendary Colby Charles. I'm a poet, live in Bishop Arts in Dallas. Me and my dog Dayla live a pretty simple life, man. I like to drink beer, hang out with my boys, and work my ass off.
What kind of dog is your dog?
She is a whole mutt.
So just like a mix of shit.
Yeah, like poodle, schnauzer, Maltese, Cocker Spaniel, but it all comes up to just like super fucking adorable culmination.
Right. And it's why did you decide to get a girl dog instead of a boy dog?
Honestly, I had moved in. This is like 3 years ago when I got her. I like just moved into my first place like alone, like without a roommate or a girlfriend or whatever. And I was lonely as fuck. And I remember I was driving to family dinner with my boy Will out in the middle of nowhere, where our families live. And I was talking to him, I was like, dude, I'm super alone. Like, I just want to get a dog, like small dog,
Yeah.
whatever. We show up to family dinner. His older sister actually fosters dogs with her husband, Carlos. And they were like, look at this new baby that we got. And it was her and her brother. And I just like saw her and like melted. I was like, this is my fucking dog.
She's a cutie, dude.
Yeah.
She's super cutie. How old is she?
About three and some change now, 3 1/4.
3 1/4. Damn. Okay. So she's
Yeah.
still a pup.
Yeah.
And I consider a dog a pup until they're like 5.
Yeah.
So you're from, did you say where you're from? Scurry Rosser?
Scurry, Texas.
Scurry, Texas. Where is Scurry in comparison to Dallas?
Scurry, you hop on 175 about an hour 15 outside of Dallas. You go southeast from Dallas.
So south past DeSoto, past Duncanville.
The
near
other way.
Waxahachie?
The other way. So like,
Okay.
so Dallas is here. DeSoto and all that stuff would be like straight down.
Mhm.
So Dallas is here. Scurry is like there.
Gotcha.
If you're looking at a map, that's going to be backwards for viewers. But if you're looking at a map, Dallas, Scurry.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
How big is Scurry?
when I lived there in high school, it went from a township to a city officially. So we got population signs.
Township to a city. So like before you can be considered a city, you were a township.
Yeah.
That sounds so colonial. That sounds so
Yeah.
like, or a township of Scurry.
Yeah. So
It sounds like you guys like still make butter and shit.
it was like a there are people that do that out there.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But there was like Grace Prairie, Peeltown, Cottonwood, Warsaw, like all these little communities,
Mhm.
and they all came together and like made Scurry.
Mm.
And I shit you not, when they put up the first population signs, it was like my senior year of high school. It was like a big deal.
Wow.
315.
How big was your graduating class?
Like 50, some people say like 54, 52, somewhere between 50 and 55.
Wow. My math isn't good, but you guys were basically a fifth of the population.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, also those population signs, we learned this too, like
Yeah.
odd, random, useless fucking Scurry knowledge. Population signs on average are like 2 years behind.
Mm.
So it's not counting for growth that has taken place.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, Paris had about 25,000 people. I didn't know Scurry was that small.
Yeah.
That's really small. What's up, Red Smacker? Because I know you're a writer. I know you're into music. I know you're doing things like that. I don't know if you're anything like me, but like I'll go through times of being like, oh, I'm really into this, or now I'm really into this. Now I'm into the podcasting thing. So like, is there currently something that you're like really into or you're getting into that's new?
Well, yes. So, I mean, I've always kind of done the poetry thing since I was like 14 or 15.
Mhm.
And I've had my ups and downs with that. That's a very visceral relationship. But, I started playing music right around that time too. Was in like a metal band for a little while, like early college days. And that's something that I decided like a year ago, I'm going to like do several different projects and like figure out which one makes me the happiest. And then that's what I'm going to roll with.
That's a good idea. So you did like multiple things, and then the one you gravitated towards the most is the one you dove in on. That's smart.
Well, I'm currently in that process. So I haven't decided which one yet. So the first part of that process was like, do I really want to keep writing poetry and like sharing bits of me and stuff? So that's why I like got this book out of the way. So that's like project 1 done.
Mhm.
And so now I'm going through, and this sounds, I feel like cliche, but if anybody gets it, it's you. Like I'm going through like a writing process for like a few different like little folk songs and stuff like that.
Okay.
To see what I can piece together.
Singer-songwriter kind of type things? Okay, bad.
Yeah, simple, like one acoustic guitar, one voice, like basic stuff. Me and my boy Will, like 2020 type stuff. We wrote like 4 or 5 little ditties.
I remember you hit me up back then. You're like, yo, I need to record.
Yeah,
I remember that.
we just were never able to piece it together and get it tight enough. But yeah, so we did that, and that kind of like spurred that part of it. But I'm like learning myself as like a songwriter now, like I know my process as a poet. And so I'm like developing that like as a songwriter now. So.
Gotcha. Speaking of you being a poet, what is your process for it? Like, because I've always been intrigued with people writing books, writing poetry books. Like how do you go about writing a book like your book Tales and Turnabouts? How did you go about like, how am I going to get into this? Did you say, oh, I want to write this, and then did you plan it out first, or did you just start writing shit?
Well, a lot of it is reflective. So any given poem that I have, it could be written in a snap. Like I just have an idea, and then like the cadence makes sense in my head and I put it out. Or it could be something I'm mulling over for like 2 or 3 days. So
Okay.
it really depends. The snap poems, my buddy Jamie, who's a poet, rapper, just all around talented like video artist in Portland, he always tells me like your snap poems are the best ones you write. But me personally, like the ones that I gravitate towards are the ones that like I had an idea and I like rewrote the cadence in my head. So a lot of it's mental.
Mm.
And then I'll like jot down a couple lines, like in my phone. I'll usually like recite it and kind of play it out. I like to run a lot too. So
You like
that's kind of like a
repetitively
therapeutic
say it?
process. Yeah. Like just thinking of how I could build out like a stanza or cadence or
Mm.
whatever.
That makes sense.
And then when I'm actually going to sit down and like put it out, it's very vibey. Like I'll light candles in my apartment, set the lighting right, like have, music going. And then, a couple beers or like some wine or something like that. I don't really smoke much anymore, but when I was doing that, that was a
Mhm.
big deal for a while. And I'll sit down and put out like 4 or 5 that I've been like mulling over for like a week.
Right, and you'll write them all down. I've
Yeah.
noticed in the book, like, they're not that long. A lot of them are really short and sweet.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by a snap poem? Something like really quick and short?
Well, snap poem is like, I consider that like the time I get the idea till it's on paper.
Oh, okay.
So
It
it's
seems
like,
almost like a freestyle. Like,
yeah,
you freestyled it, it sounded good, so you're like, let me write it down.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And actually it's funny you say that because, I don't know. I going back to music, like a lot of stuff that I write, like people will be like, "Oh, is that about a girl?" or like, blah blah blah. Sometimes yes, but most oftentimes no. Like,
I was going to ask that because some of your poems, it seems like you're talking to one person, but maybe that's just good poetry.
yeah.
Because I've heard a good artistry, you need to speak to like one person, even on a song.
So that makes me really fucking hyped that you said that
Mhm.
because that's like my overall goal.
It hit.
Is like audience wise. I
Mhm.
took this creative writing class in college with Dr. Duchovny, who's like a huge influence to me back in the day. But he would have us write in different styles to different audiences. And we
Mm.
probably put out 20 papers that week or that semester that were like 4 or 5 pages. Like we were constantly writing from different perspective and audience.
Mm.
And so that's when I take that into my poetry where I want it to be like, whoever reads this, I want them to be able
To connect.
to feel it
Yeah.
their own way,
Right.
so that I'm glad
No, you hit the nail on the head because when when I read it and like I was reading some of the Lust this morning just because that's my favorite chapter,
Mhm.
but it sounds like you're talking either about one person or you're talking to one person,
Mhm.
which I think what makes the Lust side of it really intimate, and I think that's good writing, right?
Mhm.
You can resonate with it. Sometimes I can't understand your verbiage because I'm not that smart, and you can tell you have an upper echelon of like vernacular, like some of the words you use, I like have to look them up.
Mhm.
But I get the overall message, and it sounds very individualistic when you're writing. Like you're talking to one person.
With that, when it comes to like the vocabulary and stuff, that's really the only time that I flex it. Like y'all know me.
Yeah.
Like I like to be just a goofy bastard and
Oh,
like
yeah.
say crazy shit and do crazy shit. But a lot of times with words like that, like that might be the longest part of that poem's process.
Finding a one word that's
like this is what I want to say. There has to be a word that encapsulates that, and like, but how do I make that fit the poem? And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll find like the perfect word. I'm like, this is what I'm trying to convey.
Mm.
And I may even have to like rework a poem a little bit. So when I was younger, like my first book, Because Why Not, which is like
to the real ones that know about Because Why Not.
Yeah, it's to me that's like a very immature work because I was just like, that sounds good. Let's
You got to
go.
crank those out though.
Yeah.
It's like that first nut. It's
Yeah.
got a mind of its own. You
Yeah.
just got to get through it.
Like at 8 seconds, I kind of laughed and kind of cried afterwards, and
The second one's for you, baby.
Yeah.
The first one's for me.
This
That's
is
how
my
it is.
nut, baby.
Pause for a cause real quick. We got Lulz Gank in the chat. You know who Lulz Gank is?
Lol Skank?
That's fucking Cody Joyce is in the chat.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's
What's
in the
up,
chat.
my dude?
And then Mr. Cheese, your boy did lose some weight. And then Jenkins, I appreciate you complimenting my vocabulary as well. I got a poet here, so I'm sweating just a tad.
No, you do great, man.
So cool. You walked me through how you write, brainstorm ideas. How long did this recent book take you to write?
So I started writing it before I even put out my last one. So probably like fall 2018.
Mhm.
And I've been sitting on it. Like it's been done for like probably a year.
Why'd you wait so long to put it out?
Honestly, because I'm a dumbass, and hear me out on that because
I believe you.
I am.
You don't have to convince me,
That's
bro.
not a hard point to convey.
Takes
But
one to know one.
when it comes to like computers and stuff like that, and like I work in like tech recruiting, like my day job, and so like, but when it comes to computers, like I struggle to log in. So truth be told, like the formatting aspect, like getting it ready so that I could submit it into the program that because I self-published through Amazon, the program that they use, Kindle Direct Publishing, like you have to have it in these specific parameters. I have no fucking clue how to do
Oh,
that.
so you had to like learn all that, the
Yeah.
technology side of it, of how to publish it.
Yeah, so I would like try to learn it, get overwhelmed, get burnt out, get pissed off, and just stop. And I wouldn't do anything with it for a while. And then my most recent ex-girlfriend, Katie, she does photo work as, you know, like a side hustle. And she was like, oh, I could do that. And so she took like a day
And figured it out.
and formatted it, hit submit, and boom.
Speaking of, show the chat or show the stream, the book. Who did the artwork?
So my younger sister, Carly Cousins, did painted the cover.
That's dope.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a talented painter, man. She's really fucking good.
It came out great. And why the name Tales and Turnabouts?
So that's actually a really throwback. Like, I know nobody knows like my writing or has been like following me for years or anything like that. But when I first decided to like, oh, I'm gonna try this writing thing and see if I could be serious about it, I started a website, colbycharles.com. It's not live anymore, and I wanted it to be just like a live bloguation, like situation type. You know, like I would put prose up, I would post photos that I took, poems, you know, stuff like that. Those poems were really fucking depressing.
Book lore.
But I called the blog itself, like when you go to the webpage, it was called Tales and Turnabouts.
Oh, okay.
And since that's not live anymore, I was like, I still kind of like the alliteration. Like it implies like a story and change and things like that.
I love the alliteration, Tales and Turnabouts. That's why it's Lunar Lounge. It's just like, it's one of those literary elements that I love.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. But yeah, that's the story on that. But yeah, my sister painted this. Anyone who comes to my apartment, like I have art everywhere.
Very artsy guy. Literally artwork everywhere.
There's like probably 40% of the paintings on my wall are by her.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she does. She's done a lot of work.
She has done a lot.
She tries to give them to me, and now I'm like, no, fuck that. You're an artist.
You gotta pay them.
And I, at minimum, like if I got like a 20 on me or something like that, I'll hit her with
just something.
Yeah. So I'm like, you're an artist. Don't give your shit away for free.
It's a good boost of confidence when you pay somebody that doesn't want to be paid for their art. It's a good boost of confidence. I remember those days, like giving away CDs, and people were like, no, I'll give you $10. And you're like, thank you. It means so much.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, was writing something that you were really into? Like, how do you think your childhood influenced like the creative stuff that you're into now?
Well, I was pretty like a loner for the longest time.
Would you say you're an introvert?
I would say I'm very much so like an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
Like if the mood's right and I know what I'm getting into, I could go out and be the life of the party and all that stuff. But like in the back of my head, I cannot fucking wait to be in my bed.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Because you seem like me. You seem very extroverted.
Yeah.
But I can also be very introverted as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So growing up, I was pretty like lonesome. I grew up in an interesting neighborhood in Mesquite. Lived with my grandparents. My mom worked, like 3 jobs to help us, keep going and everything. I was like the white kid in my class. And
so
like,
Scurry Ross, there wasn't a lot of.
Well, I lived in Mesquite. Up until I was like 10 years old.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was like the white kid in my class, and it was like predominantly Hispanic and African American. And though I'm like part Hispanic, like I don't look it, so
you don't really rep that part of you.
But
you see your family.
Yeah. You put me with my family, and you're like, chingon.
Yeah.
That's the way.
The tacos and margaritas just start popping up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for that aspect of the culture. But yeah, so like it was really hard to make friends. So I just like rode bikes and like threw rocks and fucking did my own thing. And then when my mom got married when I was 10, that's when we moved out to Scurry, and it was like the biggest culture shock. Like,
dude,
I promise this all ties together, but I like walk in with like a pair of Jordans. I remember I was wearing like a Nike t-shirt, and I had spiked hair with like gel in my hair.
You're not fitting in at Scurry.
We were like 4th grade, that was
that was the thing. Everybody did that. I did it.
And I walk in and I'm like, I feel like I'm at Sheplers right now, or like a Boot Barn. So many Wranglers and
Boot
fucking
barn.
and Justins and fucking, who are these people?
Mhm.
And it was even like my stepbrother, because through that marriage I like inherited a sibling, which is dope. I'm like, ha, fucker, you have to be my best friend. But like him and his friends even were like, I was like, all right, I see how it's gonna be. Like, I've sat alone at lunch before. I'll be all right.
Yeah, sitting alone at lunch. Being the new kid at school, it sucks if you don't like being an extrovert.
Yeah.
When I did it, my mom remarried when I was in like 7th grade, and for one semester I went to another school, and I had to like go make friends with all the kids. I absolutely loved it, but I can see how if you're not into that,
Yeah.
it can be very open, especially in a small town. This school was a pretty good size, but a
Yeah.
small town, it's like it's already super clicked up.
Yep.
Everybody knows each other, and that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah. And then so from there, that's kind of where it started, like journaling and stuff like that.
So you've been writing for a while.
Yeah. Like a long while. Like every now and then, like when I go back to my parents' house, I think I've pretty much cleared them all out, but I would still find like an old notebook that I have like
It's full of poems.
some of my like 12-year-old poetry, like 12-year-old
Damn.
Colby poetry, and it's absolute dog shit.
Well, yeah,
but
you got to start somewhere.
at the time, it was paramount for me,
Yeah.
you know?
Speaking of your childhood, what's your favorite childhood cartoon?
I was into the weird shit, man. Like
Like what? Doug?
Rocco's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy.
Bro,
like,
that's the good stuff.
yeah. You watch it now, and I'm like,
Dude, Ren and Stimpy now is creepy.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ren and Stimpy, but like you go back and watch it as an adult, it's like it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Unsettling.
yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know. It's hard to put into words. It's just very weird. It
Yeah.
seems almost like it's NSFW or 18 plus.
Yeah.
Like it's,
I'm like, Mom, you let me watch this shit when I
Right.
was like 5 years old, and she was like, I was 25. I was watching it with you. What the fuck you mean?
yeah. Well,
And
I think
I'm
that's why they and I don't know if you know this, but the guy that actually came up with the show, he's a crazy pedophile. The guy who came up with Ren and Stimpy is a crazy
Oh, shit.
pedophile.
That honestly checks out.
Yep.
Because that show is,
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. And he was really into feet. So like a lot of the episodes.
yeah.
Is that him?
The dude who, like the Nickelodeon guy?
No, not Dan Schneider. He's also into feet. The Ren and Stimpy guy I think is also into feet. I may be wrong though.
There's multiple
There's a lot of
cartoonists in the feet.
yeah. Well, I know that Disney
That weirdly makes sense. you know?
the Dan Schneider guy, it's like a lot of those episodes. What is it, iCarly or something like that? And
Yeah.
like he's showing like makes them show their feet and
That's fucking weird.
yeah. Jamie, pull that shit up.
Also, South Park.
Yeah, South Park. Oh, I love South Park.
Found South Park at
That's-
like an odd early age, and I'm so thankful for that. Like,
Yeah.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone are
They're
gods.
OGs, man. They're absolute OGs.
Yeah.
All right, what's give me a guilty pleasure right now. You can give me more than one if you have him.
Guilty pleasure. Honestly, I honestly hate this about myself, but
That's why it's a guilty pleasure.
Love is Blind.
Dude, that show is good. Love is Blind is good.
Dude, I find myself
I
like
support you.
I'm really into like football and sports and stuff like that, but I find myself like yelling at the TV in the same way at Love is Blind as I would like a playoff bound fucking Cowboys game.
So you watched the most recent one with like Deep
Is that the
T or
one with
whatever?
Deep D and Raph?
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to fucking unhinge Raph's jaw, dude.
He's
Fuck
a
that
piece
guy.
of shit, right? I
Yes.
did not like him.
I cannot say. I don't give a fuck what you actually think or like. Be a polite human.
He was just so
Jesus
rude. Man.
Christ.
And then what about the other guy that's like always coked out of his mind, couldn't
He's like,
put his lips together?
Dude.
Yeah.
it's just so hard right now.
That's so true. Though.
But in a weird way, like, yeah, he looked like a fucking caveman.
Idiot.
But
yeah.
but I mean, he did. I mean, I kind of like had a soft spot for him too. You know?
Yeah, you could tell like once you got to know him, you're like something's not right.
Yeah.
Like you felt bad for him because you're like, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
He may give off the douchey facade persona,
Absolutely.
but he definitely isn't. He
Yeah.
got hit in the head too many times. or
Yeah,
something.
he's CTE or something like.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I don't know what it was.
Him and the chick that he paired up with, I was like, I was like, fuck yes, that they're the ones that are gonna do
make
it.
it.
You know.
Didn't make it.
Yeah.
None of them made it.
Yeah.
That show's toxic.
Also,
Just like all those other dating shows.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Vanderpump Rules. I
What
am
was that?
I am behind like 2 seasons. So basically, what it is, and I was like an OG fan, but I'm like admittedly very behind now. But what it is like a reality-based TV show. You know, there's obviously some scripting and things like that, but it
Yeah.
follows these young like bartenders and waitresses and waiters that worked at this one restaurant, Sir, in downtown LA.
This is an actual restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I haven't personally been to that one, but I've been to Tom Tom, which fast forward a few seasons, Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval.
Hanks. Okay.
They are like best friends, roommates, whatever, and they do really well for Lisa Vanderpump, who was on like Desperate Housewives of LA or one of those shits
Jamie,
or whatever.
pull that shit up.
And so she's like buku money type stuff, and she really liked these two guys and was like, hey, I want to open a restaurant with y'all and let y'all run it, and it's called Tom Tom. So I've been to Tom Tom with my best friend Miranda, who lives in LA with her husband Tom. And we actually got to meet Tom Schwartz, which was fucking cool.
That's cool.
If you watch that show, like you can only imagine, I was like, ah.
Well, somebody from the chat is confirming everything. He said, yes, owned by Lisa Vanderpump and all these young kids hooking up together. Real Houses of Orange County.
So I knew it was some shit like that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Close. I mean, shit. LA,
Yeah,
Orange County.
LA, yeah.
Basically the same thing. Interesting.
So yeah, the trash TV is my my guilty pleasure.
I like B movies, sometimes even C movies, bad CGI, and really bad TV shows. Like I love them because I just like making fun of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my thing.
Dude, if you like under the radar movies that are really fucking good, you should IMDb my guy Tom Colby, one of my best friend's husband, and over the years has become one of my best friends.
I'll make a note.
He is a cameraman, executive producer. Like, I don't even know his titles. His industry is so complex, but I know he is one of the better, like, just under the radar, like, guys. He, like, there was a show on BET called Nellyville. He was the head camera guy for that. He, like, followed Nelly around the country for, like,
I bet that was dope.
months.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of reality TV. I think he's, don't fact check me here, or fact check me, whatever, but I think he's done Vanderpump Rules. He did, like, a Desperate Housewives. He did Bridezilla.
Bridezilla, I had to watch way too much of that with Cass.
Yeah, and he's like, I fucking hate these people, but it pays his bills.
Yeah, Bridezilla's, God, that's terrible.
But yeah,
it is good.
He has done a couple movies. You can find him on Amazon if you search Tom Colley, Colley. I gotta plug the homies when I can. You know,
I typed it down. I spelled it right too. Good.
Yeah, he's stupid fucking talented. He actually has a movie coming out very, very soon with what's the dude who plays Machete?
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, with
He's
Danny
fire.
Trejo in it.
Yeah.
So
Danny
like
Trejo looks like he's been through a lawnmower, dude. His
Yeah.
face is ate up.
Yeah, but that's like a big deal though. You know, they had that name tied to one of his movies. So
Damn.
I'm excited for him.
I've been asking everybody this question that I've had on here. What was your first impression of me?
My first impression of you. So to start,
Long ass pause.
so that whole day was a mind fuck for me. I had forgot. So like, Scurry Rosser High School preps you in no way for college, right?
Oh yeah.
So I like
No high school does. I feel
got into commerce because I didn't have to write an essay, and I knew my boy Nathan that I used to be in a band with, who's still one of my good friends today, was going there. I knew Morgan Moeller from Scurry was going there as well, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll at least know two people."
Yeah.
And I
Some
was like,
friends.
"Yeah," I was like, "I'm going to be a music major." Had no idea there was an audition process or anything like that.
Oh, you're just like, I'm gonna be a music major.
Yeah, and so I like got all this shit in the mail, and they were like, "Your first day of college is blah blah blah," and that was like, I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's tomorrow."
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so I like
Wow.
woke up, packed everything I had into my '99 Ford Taurus, and drove to Commerce. Showed up to the first day of band camp like 35 minutes late. Granted, I didn't audition, didn't have my own instrument. Like, I self-taught myself tuba.
So you just showed up without an instrument, without anything.
Yeah, self-taught myself tuba 6 months before, and that's what I decided I was going to play in college. And so,
Jesus.
like, I had not been on campus for an hour, and I'm like sweaty because my car didn't have AC. It's
Yeah.
August because we had to show up early for band camp.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees outside.
I had not been on campus for an hour. Atchison came fucking unhinged. He skull fucked the hell out of me with his words, dude. Like, up and down, he may as well fucking just got a fucking knife and just peeled my skin off me. And I'm like, what the hell did I get into?
Yeah.
And so we have like our first meeting of the day after I get like my tuba checked out to me and all this stuff. I'm sitting down, I'm like, I am way in over my head, and I like find an open seat, and I was like, anyone sitting here? He's like, yeah, no, you're good, dude, sit. And I was like, well, this guy's fucking hyped about something. And lo and
This was
behold,
me.
and it was Levi
Oh.
Nichols. And he was like, so what's your name? Where are you from? And just like,
Right
boom.
off the bat, yeah.
And that was like summer of 2009.
Yep.
And literally from that conversation there, I was like, I don't know who this fucking guy is, but I love this energy. And I knew you knew people because I saw you chatting with like Chris Mead and Connor
Yeah.
and like all those guys. And so I was like, I mean, I can make one homie and have a couple more. So like,
Yeah.
let's fucking go.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw you, you were wearing, I'm pretty sure it was skinny jeans,
Yep.
a band tee, and you had like curly blonde hair.
Yeah.
It was like a little fro. You looked super scene.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, man, I like the scene guys. Scene guys are
Yeah.
usually cool. They usually listen to like Sky Eats Airplane and
I
Circa
did.
Survive.
I did. Yeah. Circus Survive is huge to me. They were then, they are now. They
Yeah.
probably always will be. But yeah, I was wearing skinny jeans that I probably bought at either Urban Outfitters or
Yeah.
Hot Topic and a band tee. And I was letting the blonde grow out because I was like, I'm kind of past that phase, but
Yeah.
I don't
You
want
still had it though. I do remember that.
Yeah,
It was a little curly puff.
I remember the haircut I had. It was like a little more trim on the sides, and I had like kind of like a goof fro on the top, but it was fucking platinum blonde as fuck.
Was it? Looking back, wasn't a good look. But I've done that.
Nope.
I did the same shit.
Nope,
I
it was-
used to bleach my hair. Shit, I did it a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was not a good look.
Speaking of our history, so I'm going to give you guys just a little quick hit history, a little quickity history, as you put in here. So me and Colby met. We weren't initially like, man, you're my fucking boy. Because in college, you really stick with like your studios. Low brass studio, percussion over here. But me and Colby kept in contact because we were in the same grade. But then it probably wasn't until about, I'd say maybe my second year there, maybe third year there, we really started like actually kicking it,
Yeah.
hanging out. You were already pretty invested to a fraternity at this point, so you would invite me to things, and I would come out. And I had never seen somebody. I had partied hard, and I could get down with the get down, but Colby was on another level. Once he started getting into college and started like getting more of a status, like you could see Colby make people do shit that you're like, wow, they won't even question it. Colby's like, do this, and they're like, all right. And that was when I was like, okay, Colby is not the skinny jean wearing scene kid with the blonde puff anymore. He's actually over here making moves. So let's talk about your. Are you out?
Yeah, I want to all
I'll see you, my
peace.
guy.
Let's talk about your fraternity experience. So you're a Pike, you're former president, which is a big deal. But how did you get like introduced to the fraternity realm? Like, do you remember what that was like?
Honestly, I'm gonna hit you with some names that are gonna take you back a little bit.
Okay.
So again, I had like an issue making friends. Like I came out of high school, even a small high school, with like 4 or 5 close friends, and still to this day, like those are some of the main people I still talk to.
Be like that.
Yeah. And then so when I got to college, I was like, I'm tired of being like this like weird dude that like is off in the corner like with my buddy Will and like playing music and shit like that. I still want to play music and do all that stuff, but I took small town East Texas A&M Commerce as an opportunity to like reinvent the wheel, I guess, so to speak. And I was like, I am going to socially make myself uncomfortable, and I'm gonna fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And so Chad Mogus.
Man, Chad Mogus Heath Nutt Johnson III.
Yes, and
Good
he
Lord.
is. Yeah, it is. I believe it is officially Chad Johnson, and he just got his doctorate from SMU Seminary School.
Wait, what?
Like
he actually did something?
Yeah,
Because I thought he was always just a capsulot, Sir Capsulot. Cap.
He is a full-on dead-ass, big bet, whole-ass preacher.
He's a preacher?
Yes. Yes.
I heard some of the most foul shit from this man.
Because he and I, and for reference for people watching or listening or that will watch, Chad and I, that was my fuck around guy back in the day. Like
Dude, he didn't give a fuck. He was so not serious about anything.
Nope. But he would make good grades. He could like play piano pretty good. He was
Quick side story about Chad Mogus Heath Nutt Johnson. He straight up stole Ryan Klink's shit. Ryan Klink, if you're watching this, I'm telling you the true story of what happened. Remember he lived with Ryan Klink.
Yeah.
He stole some of his shit and like went and pawned it for money. And then like Ryan came back and he's like, "Where's all my shit at?" And all Chad's stuff was still there. And Chad was like, "Dude, somebody just I guess broke in and like stole your stuff and not mine." And Ryan Klink, being the awesome guy he is, believed it.
Dude, Ryan Klink,
He like stole his Xbox or some shit. It's
dude,
crazy.
Klink actually just like followed me like 2 weeks ago on Instagram.
Really?
And I followed him back, and he's like, I want to say he's married.
He looks like he's in a cult.
He looks super happy, dude. Like
He's always been a nice guy.
yeah,
But he always gave off like kind of Children of the Corn vibes to me, because he was like a little odd, a little weird.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. He's really nice, but
yeah. So Chad Johnson, Mogus at the time, whatever.
Mogus.
And again, he was in the percussion studio, and I was not. He just thought it was funny that I got ripped into for being probably one of the least professionally trained musicians in the music department.
Yeah.
But I was out there grinding. I would practice that fucking tuba like 7-8 hours a day. Because I was like, I'm not going to have someone talk shit to me and me not do something about it, you know?
Yeah.
And so he like hit me up and was like, yo, dude, let's grab lunch together. And we just became like instant homies from there. And we used to always do pranks and shit. Like around.
Big on the pranks, man.
Around Whitley and like shit like that. And so.
Whitley Hall, baby.
And Chad, like you said, he was one of those guys that just straight up didn't give a fuck. And he wound up, rest in peace, Jacob Sykes. Was the first Pike that Chad met, and he had like one of his elective courses or something, like baseline courses, whatever, with him. And Jacob was like, "Hey, you're a pretty cool dude. Like, you want to come to this fucking party?" Jacob was like at that time was like very typical, like meathead,
cold
frat
beers
guy.
And tits.
Yeah, cold beers and tits. I mean, not a better way to describe it. He actually wound up like changing entirely. Went to culinary school, became a chef.
Wow.
And then like died suddenly.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like I said, rest in peace. But so Chad was like, yo, I got invited to this party, and we were like 19. And so he was like, they said they have beer. Let's fucking go and see what it's up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, what the fuck else am I going to do other than fucking suck on this tuba mouthpiece all night? And so we go, and we walked out to Pikeland, and there's like kiddie pools, like full of ice and beer. There are girls dancing everywhere. There's a fucking 20-foot bonfire and just hundreds of people. And I'm like, I'm fucking home.
Yeah, this is it.
I was like, this is college. And I had already been thinking in my head like about the like reinvention stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the shit.
Yeah. Once you go to your first college party that's lit, you're like, yeah, I want to keep going back to these.
Yeah. And Jacob like introduced us to all the guys, and I just like put myself out there. And then like fast forward like later that semester, and I didn't know this at the time, but this was like the night the pledge class they had that semester got initiated. And we're sitting at this is another throwback, Justin Overly's house.
Super throwback.
Yeah, shout out Jo if you happen to perchance come across this. And we're sitting in a smoke circle at his old house on fucking, it's called like Maple or something like that, right off of campus. And it's like me, Amir Ali, Jacob Sykes, like Chris Hyde, Max Spurlock, all this stuff, like all these guys, OG Pikes at the time. And I'm just like this fucking nerdy dude, still in skinny jeans. I'd finally ditched the blonde hair, but my first time to ever smoke marijuana.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so surprised. I really thought you smoked in high school. But I guess it was hard to get some kush out there in Scurry.
I just, no, I was super Christian in Scurry. Again, reinvention, came to college, ditched the bag.
Yeah.
But
wow. That's surprising.
I couldn't tell you what I said. You've been in those scenarios with me before. You know, I get on like tangents and say a bunch of like just out there shit.
Yeah.
I remember making them all laugh and just thinking we had like the best time. Richard Donahue was there.
Dick Donnie.
Trey Craig, who each of those guys wound up being my pledge brothers. Yeah, we just had a great time, and I got high as balls, and they all thought I was fucking cool after that, I guess.
And you're like, all right, I'll rush Pike.
Yeah, and so I wound up not moving back home that summer, so I stayed in Commerce, and like really the only people I hung out with, I was dating a girl that was a local at the time, like from Commerce, so I hung out with a lot of townies.
Yeah.
And that's like how I know like Tanner so well, and like a bunch of other like true Commerce people, and Pikes that were around and working on campus and stuff like that. Yeah. Like we just drank beer and kicked it all summer. And I never, not once, like thought about a fraternity. And then I got a phone call to come over to the, we quote, Pikeplex over on Ellen.
Yeah, I remember that.
In Commerce.
Pikeplex.
And they like bring me in, and there's like 20 dudes in there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they like sit me down, and I'm like, thought we were gonna drink beer, guys. Like, what's up? And they're like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. And they're like, so, you know, you've been hanging out. We all know you pretty well. Like, you obviously know, like, we're in a fraternity. I was like, yeah, I guess I fucking know. I don't, you know, whatever. And they like offered me a bid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, wait, really? Because I never thought of myself as like a frat guy. I thought I was just gonna hang out and party with them, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, you know, literally sitting at the table, I was like, fuck it. Let's go.
Really?
And, yeah.
I bet they were all hyped when you said that too.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
And
That's dope.
like fast forward like a few years later, we go through this like huge ordeal, like get back on campus, all this stuff. And we immediately like won grades, won sports. I got elected president. Like we sweep the Greek awards, like all this shit. Like it literally turned into like this like stereotypical like frat experience while we were doing like the real shit too. Like we put in like over 1,000 hours of community service and like shit. I mean, you were in the shit for a while too. So yeah,
Cody's saying it was the best Pike era.
dude, me and Cody.
What's good?
I mean, you're there too. Me and Cody Slim Joints Joyce over there. We fucking
Slim Joints Joyce.
we have crushed a lot of beer together. Some of my favorite memories were sitting in Cody and Josh's Regency Square apartment. The one with the free Earl sign up in the sitting area, playing Snappa, drinking, talking the absolute most shit. And when we used to kick it and like freestyle at your place behind Lulu's.
Man, that was a long time ago, man.
I mean,
it was a good time though.
Those are core memories for me.
Those are crazy memories. Let's talk about when I pledged and so Colby was the president in what 2014.
Well, no, I graduated college December 13, so it would have all of 2013.
All of 2013, he was the president of Pike. So he convinced me to rush. I made also Liam do it, the guy I had the episode with yesterday. So I'm 21 at this point in time. I'm like, I've already accomplished quite a bit in college. Most of the time when you pledge, you're 18, you're fresh out of high school, you get a bid, kind of like what Colby did. You're
18 and 20,
18, maybe 19.
Young cat. Yeah.
You're a young cat. You're not like seasoned in the game. Like I had already been through 4 years of college. And I've already been crushing. I've already been doing what I've been wanting to do, going through girls, going to parties, new people.
You marched DCI.
Yeah, I marched DCI. I was, doing – I had already been kind of making a name for myself. But then Colby's like, you should do it. And I was like, man, I don't know. And then he just – like Colby's a great convincer. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do it. So I did it. And I'll never forget there was it's called Hell Week. Let me know if I'm sharing too much.
No, you're fine.
There's a thing called Hell Week. So basically what Hell Week is all the pledges stay in one place while basically you get unofficially hazed. It's not like you're on campus getting hazed, and it's not really hazing. They're not like fucking you up or hitting you or spitting on you.
Never touch you. If anybody had touched one of my pledges, I would have fucking come unfucking hinged.
Nobody touched you, but it's more like mental. Like they're just fucking with you. They're making you do things that you're like, why am I doing this? So I remember we had to sleep on the floor all week. Now I was going to a competition called PASIC at the time to go compete. And I was like, Colby, man, I really need good sleep. I really need to practice. He's like, bro, I'm going to need you here from 4 to midnight every day this week. I was like, fuck. Okay. So I stayed there in a sleeping bag. But I remember they would put up a Pike flag, and then they would be like, all right, you guys stare at that flag for a minute. And then Colby and this other guy are going to come out, and they're going to ask you what the parts of the flag mean. And when they walked out, Colby's in a straight up Speedo. This other guy's in a thong Speedo bikini, like butt out, hair everywhere. And like, they're like, if you guys laugh, we're going to keep you up 30 more minutes before you can go to sleep.
Every time. Put a tally.
And then, so Colby's like pointing at this point on the flag, and like his shit is just wide open. And like, all you see is just fur. Like at one point, one of his nuts falls out, and you're just like, oh my God. Like, how can you not laugh? And he's in there like drinking beer. He's holding a 30-pack that has like beer in it, and he's just talking country.
I literally have like a music, like, what do you call it?
A baton.
Yeah. And I'm like pointing at it, and I'm like stammering drunk. And I'm like intentionally talking in this like East Texas accent. I'm in literally like a leopard print thong that I bought at Walmart earlier that day. So my routine that afternoon, because I knew what night that was, I went and bought beer, bought a thong, went and grabbed my little baton that we had to have for music classes, went to Taco Bell, ate probably like 10 pounds of food, and then went to the spot, got shit fucked drunk, Went to the library, did all my homework
And then you came out.
until about 11:30, and I was like, I guess it's about time to go show some nuts.
Yeah, and it was.
And then there we were.
It's a hairy, nutty evening. But we did that. They also made us watch this movie, and they were like, "You guys better take fucking notes."
White Squall.
White Squall. You better take notes of every second of this movie. So there's like 20 people watching this, just taking like avid notes. And then we were like, "What are the notes for?" And they're like, "Nothing." I was like, "You're a fucking asshole."
It just makes you be more alert and like stay up longer.
They're like, pay attention, make notes. And you're like, what the fuck am I looking for?
You'll know
it when you see it.
At the alumni dinner, they could ask you any question about this fucking movie and you better know it.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
And that movie, if you ever get bored and want to hate your life, White Squall, I think you can find it on like Amazon or Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. It was not. I was like, why are we watching this dog shit ass dog water movie? But
the theme of it is great. It's like about teamwork, and these boys go out on like a sailboat, and like this storm hits, and they have to lean on each other and come together. The theme, great. The movie, trash.
It's so bad, dude. It's absolutely so bad. I remember that we did Hell Week, and then the night I was talking about Liam last night when we did the pallets out in Pikeland. They split us up into groups and then like made us do it multiple times. And then by the end of it, we had figured out we were doing it wrong and had to do it as a team. But like shit like that, did you come up with that, or was that that was recycled from past? Or
so we recycled a lot of ideas, but made it way less intense. So because like when my pledge class did that,
go into detail of how much more intense it was.
When my pledge class did that, they were like. So y'all actually got some sleep. When my pledge class went through, we would get like 30 minutes a night.
Whoa. So y'all really
for like a week straight. Like
we really got the business.
By the end of it, we were fucking delirious. And so they put us, it's like Thursday night, and we had been in Hell Week since Sunday night. Also, too, you're not allowed to curse, you're not allowed to drink, and you're not allowed to say one word, text message, phone call, Facebook message, anything to any female. And the girls knew that, and they would rat your bitch ass out. Jesus. So like Thursday night, we go to do the pallet night.
Yeah. And
we had like 14 dudes, couple football players. Shout out to my boy Will Green if you wind up watching this. I fucking love you, dude. Actually, I had a lot of dudes in my pledge class that are pretty dope. But Thursday night, they get us out there. We're fucking on like 2 hours of sleep over the last 4 or 5 days. We're exhausted. We've been wearing like the same suit all week. That was another rule. Like just all
the same like business suit.
Yeah.
All week. So it smelled like shit. Probably.
Yeah, we were total ass. But they put us on these pallets. They explained the game, and they're like, "Pardon me, whoever's team gets there first, like because there's like a little track."
Yeah.
And what it is, they split us into 2 groups. So each team had 2 pallets. 7 people on each pallet. You had to all be standing on a pallet. If you touched the ground, anyone touched the ground, you had to start over. And you had to move from one pallet to the next using the pallets and go around this like bend and get back to the deck where everything started. And they're like, whichever team gets back first gets an extra hour of sleep. Ready, set, go.
Oh.
And like when like it got kind of close and towards the end, and they're like, y'all aren't doing anything to make it competitive. And so they like made it to where it was like checkpoints. So like if you accidentally stepped off, you'd only go back so far.
Okay.
And so it wound up being worth it to like run through the group on the other pallet to knock them off. So they would have to go back if they were like getting ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that you both go back to the checkpoint, and then it's like you start over.
Yeah.
And it wound up at one point being like a full on brawl. Like 14 dudes, everyone's just swinging on everybody.
Jesus.
Like it was like fucking terrible.
When did you find out that it's supposed to be a team thing and not one?
After they let us go through a few rounds of that, and like everyone's like pissed off and fucking, and they're like, "Why don't y'all band together?" And we're like, "Huh, that's the fucking recipe."
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
I was so mad when they did that.
Yeah,
it's like people set the rules and you don't think of breaking them.
Yeah, that's just like one example, but yeah, I mean it was far more intense, and I think we're past like the statute of limitations, so nobody can get in trouble for that. But yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Did they ever make you drink a lot of beer, like chug anything, or the typical like hazing shit?
No, that's one thing consistently that we were very good about. We never made anybody consume anything that they didn't want to. That being said, like you said, I've been known to like talk people into like, hey, drink that fucking beer.
Yeah.
But and I also it's not like, hey, you do it, but like I'm gonna beat your ass. Like I'm gonna drink this beer
Yeah, it's like
faster than you.
competition, more or less, which is okay. I feel like that's okay.
Everything is a competition
Yeah, I feel
in
like that's
frat
fine.
life. But there was one night, the funniest fucking thing that we ever did. And I may get some like hit back from any bros from the back in the day that watch this, but we used to do this all throughout your pledge process. Everyone's asking, would you eat shit for Pike?
Oh my god.
And you're like, fuck yeah, I would. I'd eat shit for Pike. Because, you know, in your head, you never like,
you're like, yeah, I'll do it.
you never think like, oh yeah, like fuck yeah, I would scoop a turd and
Yeah.
fucking nom down. Nobody thinks about that. So one night they bring us in, where they put us all in this one bedroom at the Pikeplex, and like all the actors are there, so like we know something's up. It's during I week. We're like, fuck, like what are they doing today? We're all talking about it and like what's going to happen. And so they pull one person in, like their big brother, who's an active member, comes in, pulls a pledge in, and we just don't hear anything. A few moments later, like the next big brother comes and pulls their little bro. We just don't hear
You don't
anything.
hear
And like the
anything.
room's just getting smaller, right?
Yeah.
And so when I get called, Justin McGuffey, shout out, still my dude. Saw him at Crawfish. We got to catch up, drink a good amount of beer, played dodgeball.
Wow.
He's married to Carly. Their kid is so fucking cute.
Wait, he actually married Carly?
Yeah.
He went through with the plan.
Yeah. I told him, like, bro, the only way to do it right is to marry her. And he was like, well, I fucking love her, so I'm going to. And he did. And now they have the cutest fucking kid.
Really? Man, that story.
We don't even
I
have to.
almost want to air it out. It's so dirty, though.
We don't even have to get into it. Me and Justin have come a long way since then, and him and Carly are extremely happy. And like I said, little Oliver, dude, he's a G. So we're saying a sidebar. I was standing at Crawfish this past April, and I had like set my beer down on the ground, my unopened beer, while I'm sitting there watching the Young Bucks like play dodgeball and stuff. And this little kid comes running up and grabs my beer and starts to run off. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I look over and it's Carly, like, Oliver. And I'm like, oh, that's Guff's kid. He just fucking swiped my beer. Of course. It makes sense.
Wow.
And I was like, Guff, your kid just fucking tried to take my beer. And he's like, I'm a proud dad.
Oh, man. All right, I got to get off that topic because I just want to grill his bitch ass.
So Guff,
keep going.
Guff comes and grabs me and he's like, would you eat shit for Pike? And I'm like, sure.
I'll do it.
Like, whatever. And they blindfold me, bring me in, and you're blindfolded. You can't see shit, but you know you're in a restroom.
Yeah.
And they like have you get on your knees and like they like situate your hands and they're like, can you tell where you are currently? And I was like, feels like I'm sitting in front of a toilet.
Oh.
And they're like, you know, throughout the process, we've always asked you, like, would you eat shit for Pike? And you're blindfolded, but you could tell there's other people in the room too.
Yeah.
But it's Guff that's talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. They're like, well, in the toilet in front of you
Oh, no.
is
Oh, no.
a human shit. Reach in there and grab it. Take a bite if you'd eat shit for Pike. Unbeknownst to the blindfolded pledge, an active had shit in a cup and is holding it under your nose.
So it smells like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so it smells like straight.
It smells like a raw dog shit. It's in a red Solo cup.
Oh, God.
Shout out Chris Thompson. That shit was foul. They're holding, and like people are like trying not to laugh and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And if you ever thought I was fucking frat, dude, I thought about it. I asked a couple questions. It was a banana. They had microwaved a banana and then put it in the
You
water.
actually bit it, though.
Yeah.
And after that, they're like, all right, you're about it.
You're fucking about that action.
Oh, my God.
And
That
so,
is a mind fuck. You bit into the banana thinking it was a straight up turd, and you're smelling a turd the whole time.
Yep, I was.
That's wild, bro.
When I say like a
That is wild.
life mantra for me, and you've heard me say this probably 100 dozen times. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Be about it.
I was fucking about it.
Wow.
And that's why like you'll hear like actives from back in
Wow.
our day like, I ate shit for Pike, would you? Like, I guarantee I asked you that question when you were pledging.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But you never made me do that.
Nope.
Because I wouldn't have done that.
There's some aspects that we purposefully got rid of because
That's-
that was hazing, you know.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, it's
Like the
funny
shit
as
in the
fuck.
cup, and then you grab a warm banana.
Yeah.
God, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, transitioning from the college fratty days,
Cup.
man, good times, good times. All right, now we're going to do a section of the show I like to call This or That. Who's Colby for the latecomers? Colby is one of my good college buddies. He's also a writer here in Dallas. Just a free thinker, good dude, solid, down. If you ever need him, anytime I've needed Colby, I'm like, yo, I'm doing this. He's always been there. It's just one of my like pretty much day one college homies. Known him for a very long time.
Yeah.
But this section of the show is going to be called This or That. I'm going to ask you this or that, and you have to tell me why. If I really don't agree with it, I may grill you and ask why you think that.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, good. But this is going to be kind of rapid fire. Okay?
Sure.
Cool. Maury or Springer?
Maury.
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
In and out.
Good. Whiskey or beer?
Beer.
Morning.
But that's a tough one.
Hey,
But I work at Four Corners Brewery on the weekends. Like, I love.
I said whiskey or beer. It's a this or that.
Yeah. So
That is what it is. It's
Beer.
It's what you said. It's what your mind
Beer.
said.
Yeah.
Mornings or nights?
night.
Now, this is a really controversial one. Red Lobster, Olive Garden.
I saw this on the list.
This is really controversial.
So I'm gonna go Olive Garden.
Ah. Really? What's wrong with Red Lobster?
Not because it's like 1A, 1B.
Okay, fair.
Like, sure, they're probably like some type of like microwave, like fucking Sodexo type of shit, you know. But
Shout out to Sodexo.
yeah, word up
For feeding us in college.
Yeah, straight up. But at the same time, like the breadsticks. So I used to do this thing when I was like really crazy about health and stuff, which I'm starting to get more back into that. But me and my buddy Will would do like 72-hour fasts.
Jesus.
Because it does a lot of great things for your body, like resets your sugar levels,
Oh,
all
yeah.
these types of
So
things.
it's really good for you to
You
fast.
start like operating off of pure fat versus caloric intake, things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to it. Don't at me if you think there's not.
Adam.
But yeah, at me. We can have the dialogue. But there was one time, me and my girlfriend at the time, Sarah, and my roommate Taylor Gang. You remember her?
Yeah, shouts to Taylor. And
Yeah.
Sarah.
Taylor's in Australia living it up. Sarah is crushing it and building parks all over downtown Dallas.
Really?
And they're gorgeous. Yeah. Go shout out Carpenter Park, right under the underpass, right over by Deep Ellum. It's the largest park in Dallas.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Go check it out. So I was on the tail end of a 72-hour fast, and I get home and I was like, do y'all want to go to fucking Olive Garden? And they were both like, Sarah is always down for like a hearty meal, you know,
Yeah.
and Taylor she likes food, you
Yeah.
know, so, and they were both like, fuck yeah. And so I went and ended a 72-hour fast with like a tour of Italy at Olive Garden. And I shit you not, I shitted my body weight over the next 2 days. It was so bad.
Let me pause you there. What the hell is a tour of Italy? At
So
Olive
you
Garden?
you get all these, I don't even know if they do it now. It's been a while since I've been there, but
Yeah.
you would get all like these like smaller portion sizes of different pasta types. So you would get like I don't even know, like a portion of baked ziti, like a lasagna, spaghetti,
Right.
you know, like a bunch of little portions, but winds up being like a metric fuck ton
So
of
it's
food.
like a 7-course or something, or is
Sort
it just
of, but
small
it's
plates?
like it's just small plates.
Oh, okay.
And they just bring it out, hit you with the business, and then obviously breadsticks on breadsticks, that salad.
Yeah.
I always get extra dressing for the salad because I feel like they kind of short, but I'm also like a dressing guy, you know?
Yeah.
I ate my body weight.
How much is this tour of Italy?
Oh shit, I don't know, like $18 or something like that.
Damn,
but
that's
it's like,
not expensive for.
but it's a fuckload of food too. Yeah.
How many calories do you think you ate that day?
An ungodly amount.
Bro, and then those post pasta shits, man.
So bad. So fresh off a 72-hour fast and just a gargantuan amount of food.
Ugh.
It was sorry guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough. But I lean Olive Garden.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm Red Lobo every day. Going out or staying home?
Ooh, nowadays staying home with like a kickback, like a couple boys at the house.
Low key kickbacks are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
Versus
opinion.
going out. But if we're going out, like I want a day drink at like a brewery versus fucking at a club, you know?
Techno, dude. You just wear yourself out.
Yeah.
Podcast or music?
Ooh, there's like now 3 podcasts that I listen to. But if I had to only listen to one or the other for the rest of my life, I could not live without Anthony Green. So I'm gonna go music.
Yeah, me too. I'd go music. Breakfast or dinner?
Ooh, breakfast for dinner.
Oh, hit me with the double whamskis.
Yeah,
Okay, I see you. Hey,
I love breakfast any time of the day.
Yeah,
Breakfast
Cass
foods
is the
are
same way. She loves breakfast, especially
Yeah.
breakfast for dinner. Do you
Yes.
fold or bunch your TP?
So I used to bunch until Will Burnson gave me a stern talking to,
So now you fold?
and so now I fold. Yeah,
So you're not a Neanderthal anymore?
No,
Sometimes I bunch when I want to get back to my ancestral
Yeah.
ways, but most of the time I fold.
but also I go through significantly less toilet paper now
Really? You think it's because you're a diet or it's just not as smudgy?
from folding.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So when you bunched, oh, I guess that makes sense.
yeah. I would just fucking grab
Let me ask
squares.
you this: when you wipe, you fold. Do you wipe and then fold again and then wipe again?
It's like a two for every.
Oh, so you two for on. So you
yeah.
you,
So I'll wipe.
you get
fold,
the fudge, fold it, get more fudge, and then fold it,
Yeah.
and then throw it.
Conservation, baby.
Dude, I can only like my shit is. I don't know if it's a problem. I may need to see a doctor, but mine's so greasy. Like I get one, and I can feel the warmth on the paper through it. I'm like, I ain't folding this again.
Use different paper. Don't you have a bidet too?
I do have a bidet.
Yeah.
But so my butt's like wet afterwards. It's like
Yeah.
there's
So that's a
water on
little
it.
different.
Yeah.
So overall, you're probably using less paper than I do because it's more like just a dry.
Bro, have you tried my bidet yet?
Yeah, dude. The first time I ever used a bidet was at yours and Cass's place in Austin.
You'd like it, right?
Yeah, I pushed the wrong fucking setting.
Oh,
though.
it'll straight up go through your colon, out your nose. If you
Yeah,
do
I
that.
thought I was gonna fucking drown.
Yeah.
Because you were like, use a low setting when you go in there,
And you're like,
and I go in there and I crank a dump and and I wasn't even paying attention, but it did get quiet outside. Like, and then I remember like Levi said like use the low setting, so I like play. I don't remember what side it was on, but I was
Yeah.
like, there's like 5 settings. He said a low one. I'm gonna go 3.
3
And I remember I turned it on and I was like, no!
You had to super soak that mud whistle.
And I heard
Yeah.
y'all fucking start laughing.
Yeah.
And I come out
We knew what happened.
after I like readjust myself. So I'm like, did I just get DP'd by a fucking bidet?
You did.
And you're like, how's that bidet treat you?
Yeah.
I was like, it got inside me, bro.
Dude, that water stream is so strong that it'll straight up bruise your
It's
your
like
sphincter, dude.
butthole and water.
Yeah, it'll punch that fart box.
It was rough.
It's good. It's good. You need to get you one. Have you not got one yet?
I have not, and my buddy Will, he just bought a house in Oklahoma City and he has a bidet and
It's a game changer, man. When you
It
start
truly
really
is.
cleaning your butt, like, man,
yeah, there's nothing like a
there's
good
no,
clean
no
butt.
more skid marks, dude.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. It's
that's
a beautiful
why
thing.
I only buy black underwear, dude.
Dude, me too.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Skid marks.
There you go.
The
Pro
skid
tip.
mark kids, pro tip. Only buy black underwear. And this is also a very, very controversial question right here. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I think a hot dog's a sandwich.
Yeah.
But the only argument I have is that in a sandwich, the pieces of bread don't touch. Sometimes in a hot dog, they touch. So does that disqualify it as a sandwich?
Well, in a sandwich, the bread was touching until someone cut it.
You got a point.
Yeah. So it's like, say you did a shitty cut on a sandwich and you toss the meat in there, is it not still a sandwich?
Right.
Yeah.
You really got to think about it. These are the hard-hitting questions
Yeah.
that I bring to the table here, man.
Yeah. I would say a hot dog's a sandwich.
Bread
like
touches in a sub sandwich, too. That's true.
Yeah, I would say,
It's kind of tough, man.
yeah, 'cause you go to Subway, they're not fucking like slicing your they slice it in half or whatever you get like the 6-incher.
So
but
technically, that'd be a hot dog.
yeah, I think a hot dog is a subgenre of sandwich.
Oh, okay. So it's like metal and then like death metal.
Yeah,
It's just a subgenre.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to go with that. It's easier to categorize in my mind.
yeah,
I like that a lot more.
yeah. You got to build out the org chart of
Yeah.
sandwiches. You know.
This is a question that I built out specifically for you just because I was like looking online. Have you ever seen those like starter pack things where it's like, if you're from Texas, here's your starter pack.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like what 5 things are you going to put in your I'm from Texas starter pack? What 5 things like that maybe people don't understand Texas, like what 5 things are you going to put in that starter pack that let people know what the fuck's up with Texas?
Are we going like stereotypical Texan or like my view of Texas?
I'm going your view as a Texan.
my view as a Texan.
Because you are a Texan through and through.
I am born and raised, baby.
Baby, T-Bar, Texas born and raised.
You're gonna have to have
Cody said beer, 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 and beer.
Yeah, so there's definitely beer. I'm actually very thankful for the craft beer uprising, like in Dallas specifically, but just in general from Texas. I think we do have a very good beer scene.
So beer is the first.
So yeah, beer for sure. Cold case of beer.
Cold beer.
A pair of boots.
Got to have a good pair of boots.
You don't necessarily have to have the Wranglers. You can dress them up, dress them down,
Yeah.
however you want to, but you got to have a good old pair of shit kickers.
Hell right.
You know, I hate this, but it is pretty stereotypical, but it also is very real. Like my whole family drives trucks.
Yep.
So
Trucks
like
is
a
big
truck.
one. Yeah, you got to have a truck.
And there's a heated debate whether you like Ford or Chevy or Dodge. I could give a whole fuck less,
Yeah.
but a truck.
Yeah.
So beer, boots, truck. I'm trying to think of my brother because he's like
Got two
very
more.
country. A firearm.
Yes, you got to have a gun. And,
Yeah.
and preferably an assault rifle or assault weapon that can shoot multiple rounds, not just like your regular everyday.
Yeah. Or just a pistol that you're going to open carry, whether you have a license or not.
So a gun, you got.
I got one
I
more.
think you got one more.
Got to have you a good dog.
That's true. You got to have a good dog. That's a
Yeah.
good starter pack.
Yeah.
Chat, what do you guys think about a starter pack? So you got cold beer, boots, a gun, a dog,
And a
and
truck.
a truck. That's a very, very good Texas starter
Yeah.
pack. Very
Yeah.
good Texas starter pack.
Plus points if you have like off-road tires on the truck and it's like got at least like a 5 to 6 inch lift on it.
Yeah, that's an S tier starter pack for sure.
Yeah.
I really like that. I'm going to ask you some random ass questions now.
I'm into
These are
it.
going to be some very just like off the wall. So like if you could turn into any animal, like what would it be? And why? Why would you be that animal?
Honestly, probably a dog.
Really?
Yeah. Because think about it. You shit when you want to.
Eat, sleep.
People lay out the red carpet. Like I think about my dog.
Mm-hmm.
She is so fucking spoiled.
Yeah.
I also curse a lot. I don't know if that's like a vibe
I'll
here or
bleep
not.
it
But
out when I do clips. Don't worry about it.
okay, cool. But yeah, she is so spoiled. She gets everything she wants. Literally, all she has to do is look at me the right way, and I'm like, okay, I'll rub your belly.
Yeah. Dogs really
like,
got it made, man.
she lounges all day.
Yeah, sleeps.
She plays
chills.
when she wants to play, and she's adorable.
She's a cutie.
Like she literally lives a life of luxury. Like I take her on long walks. She gets to like shit in the field.
Stay out in the. She gets to stay in the AC.
Yeah.
Probably gets a comfy little bed. Being a dog's a good one. See,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something like an eagle or something,
Um,
or like a shark or something,
Well,
or a lion or.
with that, I mean, like I don't want to be anything that's going to be like openly hunted.
Yeah, I don't want to be an animal that's a predator either, because then you're
Yeah.
like always hunting for your next meal. Like
Yeah.
you can't really enjoy it. You're always on the hunt.
Yeah,
Like
your
dogs,
life is
you're like, I know where the food's coming.
you're like a serial killer. Like your life is focused around killing.
Killing, yeah, and eating.
Yeah,
it
and
makes
I'm,
sense.
and I'm not into that.
This segues to the next question. What superpower would you choose for yourself?
Oh, dude, mind reading.
Really? I'm very on the fence about mind reading. So tell me why you would want to be able to read minds.
Well, I have a background in sales.
Yeah.
So like, because if people were to say like infinite money or anything like that, if I'm in sales and I can read your mind, I'm gonna be fucking loaded.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I would never be lied to again.
Yep, because you would know the truth.
I would know genuine intentions.
Mhm.
And so just personally, it would save me from a lot of hurt, a lot of guesswork.
Mhm.
I would know when it comes to like my best friends, it would just be a fun way to be able to communicate with them and see if we
Mhm.
really are on as the same page as I already kind of think or know we are.
Yeah.
Also, I think it would be an interesting like anthropological study to like be able to hear people's minds and like how they work.
Their
like
inner dialogue.
Yeah, like stream of consciousness. Like how do you talk to yourself? Like what is your inner voice?
Yeah.
You know? And I
It'd be
think
crazy to think. I feel like it would drive me crazy.
well, I would want it to be like selective, like Jedi type style. Like I can listen or or control what I'm able to hear,
Yeah.
like when I want to.
See, I kind of agree with Cody. He's like, I feel it would be a burden to read people. Main reason being is like you said, you're going to get to know the raw story of everybody. And it's like, what if a lot of the people that you love have this awful story and awful way they feel about you, but they're like faking it? I feel like that would fuck me up.
I'll just call them on their shit.
That's true. That's all you have to do is just call them out.
No fake
It's
friends.
just crazy to me. If you can read minds, does that include animals?
You know, I think
That would be cool.
I
But I
think
feel
that
like
would be that would be fascinating.
yeah, I feel like talking to animals would be something completely separate though. Like reading
Mhm.
people's minds would be like its own thing.
I would love to be able to read Dayla's mind. That's my dog.
Yeah. Or talk to her. Like
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to speak to animals. That'd be so fucking cool.
That would be dope.
It's like, hey Loki, go give me
You're
some.
having me reconsider my fucking
Nah, man, you
answer.
picked it. You picked it.
Talking to animals would be dope. I would that or like invisibility.
Mhm.
Um,
That's what Liam said, and I was like, "You're a fucking creep." He's like, "I want to be invisible." I'm like, "Why? So you can watch girls pee?" He's like, "Yeah." You're weird. He didn't say that, but I mean, it made it sound better. Here's the next question: if you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be?
Nadamu's cookies and cream.
Oh wow, you knew exactly. Wow, all those
Yeah.
creeps with their invisible power. Yeah, or teleportation would be cool.
Oh, that's a fucking good one. Save on flights.
Oh my god, dude, you save on flights so much.
Yeah, just like apparition type
Mhm.
shit, Harry Potter style. Fuck. Okay.
Okay, you can't go back.
I
Here we
know.
go. If you had one day left to live, how would you spend it? That's a deep one. I would just spend it with my family. I would go hang out with my mom, my grandma, have Cass there, and I'd probably just get I'd probably just want like biscuits and gravy and just kind of
Mhm.
relive like the good shit. And then maybe try to go out and win a bang, go to Six Flags or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do something fun.
I would hit up everyone I love.
That's a good one.
Probably I would probably be on the phone a lot because a lot of my really close friends live out and about, you
Mhm.
know. So I would hit up everyone I love. I would go kiss my mom, my dad, my sister, my grandparents. I would definitely drink some cold beer because I do love cold beer.
I would get wasted.
I
I would
would-
do every drug imaginable.
Yeah, I would.
Bring it on.
I would write like a farewell poem because I just feel like that's appropriate.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I would write a will.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to have a will. Shit, I don't even have one of those.
Yeah, I don't either, but I mean, my little sister is beneficiary on everything. Oh man, that's a heavy question.
Right. I feel like you hit it solid enough. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of opening it up. That one you could literally talk about for days.
Yeah.
So let me see here. What was the first job that you ever had not on your resume, and what did you learn from having that job?
There's a couple ways I could answer that. When my mom got married, her husband, my dad, he owned a welding company,
Oh, okay.
and so
Welders do make good money.
yeah, and so I would go on like odd jobs with him,
Mhm.
and like help him build barns and fences and carports and shit like
General
that.
construction work. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I can weld and build shit like that, but
Mhm.
like I don't know if I consider that because I was just like his kid and it's like I either go or
Were you getting paid?
no.
I'm talking about the first job you actually got paid. Either you worked for someone to get paid, but it was something like you're not putting it like mine was being a soccer referee.
Yeah.
So I got like my little referee thing, and I refed like under 10-year-olds, like
So
games.
kind of in tandem, I started working at the Sonic in Kaufman, Texas.
Sonic and Coffin, you and Chris Mead both.
Yeah. Miranda, one of my very, very close friends, worked up there.
Damn.
And she knew that they like needed a fry cook, and I was like 16.
You were a fry cook?
Yeah, dude, it
Damn.
was terrible for my
Really?
acne at the time. Yeah, it was so bad. But
Okay.
in tandem with that, I was also like baling hay and loading feed and like doing country boy shit too.
shit, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
But yeah, I worked at Sonic and Kaufman for about 6 months. But like the dudes there were all like legit ex-cons, and like my first closing shift, they're like popping Zans in the back and like chugging 40s, and I'm like,
You're on the clock cleaning.
yeah, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
I'm fucking 16. I'm going to church in the morning, guys. Can we please finish cleaning and get the fuck on out of here?
Right, and they're like in their mid-20s.
Yeah, and they're
early
like
30s.
doing drugs and shit like in front of me, and I'm like, I've never seen a drug.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
So what did you learn though? Like, what did you learn from that experience? Like, I don't want to work here, or like,
Well, it was a building that was built in like the 80s. There was no insulation. Like I was super uncomfortable from that because like those are in my Bible thumping days too. So that was just not going to fly. So they had just built like a brand new McDonald's in Kaufman too. So I like on a lunch break or something from school, I like drove in and like applied at McDonald's and got the job there and said, fuck off to
Dude,
Sonic.
McDonald's is actually a really solid place to work if it's like one of your first jobs. They pay you well, and apparently it's like really organized. And
Yeah, and it was. It's location by location. Some are like corporate stores and some are like franchisee.
yeah,
And the corporate stores are usually like, there's like certain McDonald's you can go there and like the food is the same but different. Those are typically like the corporate stores where shit's like money.
Yeah.
Franchisee stores can be like all over the map.
Yeah, they can, because it's just like so and so bought the franchisee fee and then they
Yeah.
just kind of threw it up there. That makes sense.
Fortunately, the franchise one that I worked at in Kaufman, like the owner, the managers, all of them were great. Still, when I pop in there, like when I go to my hometown now and then, up until pretty recently, I think her name is like Glenda.
Mhm.
She's still a manager there, and she's like, "Hey, baby!" Every time I walk in,
Belinda holding it down at Sonic.
Yeah. Well, this is at McDonald's.
McDonald's.
None of the same degenerates still work at that
I
Sonic.
assumed the retention rate of those employees at Sonic probably wasn't too
Yeah. But yeah, she's still there, and
Glenda holding it down, 30 years in the making.
yeah, she's
She own that damn place yet?
She should. She's a sweetheart though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
So
people,
nice.
that's all they want. Some people are just nice people that just want a
Yeah.
good little chill job. Chat, put in the chat what your first job was. How would you describe yourself in one word?
Eclectic.
Eclectic?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. Let's go through. I'm going to go through some more this or that questions. Pineapple pizza or candy corn?
Oh, can I do neither?
Got to pick one.
Pineapple pizza?
Yeah. Candy
Not
corns.
happy about it though.
Yeah. Talking pets or talking babies?
Talking babies.
Winning the lottery or finding your soulmate?
Soulmate.
Misquoted movies or mistaken lyrics?
Mistaken lyrics.
Test the waters or dive in the deep end?
Dive.
Glass half full or glass half empty?
Full.
There we go. Growth mindset. Ketchup or ranch?
Ooh. Mix, but ranch if I had to.
Okay, fair enough. You would mix those two?
Yeah.
What? Okay, stop. You would mix ketchup and
Yeah,
ranch?
absolutely.
What do you call that? Cranch?
Sure.
What is that? Where's that a thing?
Or
Ranch
ranch
up? Where the hell have you done? You've never done that.
I've done that my whole life.
For what? Fries or for what?
Pizza, fries,
You
burritos.
put pizza and ranch up?
Dude, so like if you look at my fridge in my apartment right now, sauce top to bottom in the door.
So you're a
like
sauce
I've
guy.
got I love sauces. Dressing, I mentioned earlier, I love
You love
dressing,
dressings too, yeah.
sauces, like anything like that. Like I love to mix them. Like right now the mixture that I'm really hot on,
Okay, I love
mix that with Frank's Red Hot.
I'll bet that's really good.
It's fucking good.
I bet that's actually really good.
I like air fry some pot stickers and dip those fuckers in there.
Say,
and,
well, it sounds like you're the.
and I'm just
it sounds like you're the king of concoctions. So ketchup ranch is apparently a hit.
yeah.
Chick-fil-A sauce and Frank's Red
Frank's.
Hot. Is there anything else that's like that you've just experimented with?
Dude, I can't even begin to like think about all of it. Yeah, there's a lot. Like
I've done like mustard and ketchup. You know,
Cody Joyce, since he's watching, may actually remember this, but in college we would get baked and I would toast bread for a peanut butter sandwich, put honey on it.
Yeah.
That's typical.
yeah, honey's
Pretty
good.
standard.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Dip that shit in soy sauce.
Wait, toast with honey dipped in soy
Well,
sauce.
peanut butter and honey.
Peanut butter and honey and dip that in soy sauce.
Like toasted sandwich and dip that shit in soy sauce. Because I remember Cody looking at me and be like,
You're fucking crazy.
boy, you ain't right. And
He says he remembers.
yeah, and that was my fucking jam. I'll still eat that now and then.
What?
But like even
That's crazy to me, dude.
like I bought this what's the place fuck, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Not Benihana's, but the other like they do like lettuce wraps, PF Chang's.
Oh
PF
yeah, PF Chang's, man.
PF Chang's has this like pad thai sauce that's like really spicy that you can buy at the grocery store.
Mhm.
I love to get some of that. I put some dill weed in it.
Dillweed?
Yeah, sounds wild, but trust me.
You got the flavors, dude.
And then it's also like very, very thick, and like kind of a creamy, sweet, spicy. So, and I want a little more salt out of it, so I'll like put soy sauce. Or if I'm really like going for it, I have this teriyaki like marinade that I'll put in there, mix it up together, so it's just like a slightly looser consistency.
Right.
And I'll put that on like shrimp and air fry that, or like fucking dip a pizza crust in there.
That's wild to me, bro. I'm like really surprised. I've never heard of some of these combinations. I actually saw Cranch the other day, and I was like, somebody had to be drunk on pickle juice to put this on the shelf, dude.
Dude, you can.
It's weird to me, man.
You could ask, fuck, what was his name? Micah Hedrick, Stoney Patton, and Will Burnson. There for a while, the most random assortment of people. We would always eat lunch together in high school. And we had this barbecue sauce and ranch that we would get. And, you eat pizza every day because that's what slaps at high school.
It's cheap, too.
And I would put it, that boy's taste buds must be so repeated. But no, I'm just fucking living for flavor, baby. But I would mix that even. And I got like 5 or 6 dudes on the football team eating that shit too.
That's random, dude. The PB with the honey and soy sauce.
Dude, you should do like a fucking live and be like, we're gonna taste
I'll
test
try
this
it.
shit. And see
Well,
if
I've
these
heard
fucking
of
shit.
I've heard of a PBJ with pickles. I've heard that.
Ugh,
Peanut
I
butter
don't.
pickles.
I don't fuck with pickles
Really?
at all.
See, my big combo in high school was cheese blocks and pickle slices. I love pickle slices, dude. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We got that by there. We got that. That was a big one, ketchup or ranch. All right, let's keep going through this or that. Sort by price or by rating?
Rating.
Sauce on the side or sauce on top?
Ooh, side, because I'm gonna fuck it up somehow.
Yeah. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Really?
I don't hate crunchy, but if I had to pick two or between the two, smooth. Yeah.
I like crunchy, but I do like smooth. Zombies or vampires?
Vampires.
Funny story or a one-liner?
Story.
Yeah, me too. Bad breath or body odor?
Like I would rather have, or I like the least. Like what?
Let's say, would you rather have bad breath or bad body odor?
Body odor, because like if you stink, like you could always just hit a lap and then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Bad breath, you're just fucking unhygienic.
Yeah, you just sound like you're talking like a trash can. Robots or dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs.
Guacamole or salsa?
Ooh, because of my Mexican background, like I'm gonna have to go with salsa.
Salsa. All right. Boxers or briefs?
Fuck, dude. Boxer briefs, but
There you go, mixing them again.
but I mean that's what I'm rocking right now. The boys are sitting in them right now.
Yeah, me too.
But if I had to, probably boxers.
Fair enough. Comedian in a serious film or a serious actor in a comedy?
Ooh, I actually have a very good stance on this one. Comedian in a serious film.
Did you watch Hustle? Adam Sandler?
Exactly.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, Uncut Gems, Hustle.
Did you watch Hustle though?
Yeah,
What'd you
like
think?
Wednesday or Thursday night. Great film.
I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like very surprised. I think one thing with and I'm not going to give away the plot or anything, but watch fucking Hustle on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Good.
It's amazing. Adam Sandler is doing the damn thing.
Mhm.
The amount of involvement with actual like real NBA players,
Dude, so much.
you could tell Adam Sandler has a level of respect from them
Oh,
because he's a baller too. I mean, not NBA level, but he plays. You know,
He's like a backyard cat, but he
Yeah.
loves basketball.
Yeah,
He
and-
loves basketball.
and his love for the game, I think, is displayed in like the respect that they had to even be on that. Yes, Evoke 186, fucking check it out. It's worth it. It's so good. But also there's a series or a show on Netflix called Maniac.
I haven't seen that one.
Jonah Hill
Oh,
plays
I
like
him.
a mentally like
Insane person.
perturbed
Mhm.
individual, like just mental health like crisis,
Yeah.
and he fucking murders it. It's like it's got that other redheaded chick that's real popular that did the Scarlet Letter.
I know you're talking about, but I can't remember her name. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm the worst with like actors and actresses' names, but
Yeah.
Maniac on Netflix with Jonah Hill, it will fucking shake you.
Really?
You've
Is that
never
good?
seen Jonah Hill be so serious and so good.
He's good. He's a good actor. I like him.
Jonah Hill is one of my favorite actors,
Yeah.
hands down. Period.
He's really good.
Yeah.
When he did Wolf on Wall Street, it was really good. There's a bunch of
War Dogs.
Yeah,
Oh
War
my
Dogs is
god,
another
War
really,
Dogs
really
is
good one.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Instagram famous or infomercial famous?
I mean, Bill Hayes, but no, Instagram famous. I feel like it's a little more work
Yeah.
because, like, if you get infomercial famous, your shit's on repeat.
But you're
Like,
just
people are going to see
basically
it.
a meme. Like on Instagram,
Yeah.
you can kind of create the meme around you, but when
Yeah.
you're an infomercial, Billy Mays here,
Yeah, but
or the slap chop.
I feel like Instagram famous is going to be a lot more work because of
Yeah.
the upkeep and everything. But I mean, if you get big enough, you can hire a team, and all you have
Yeah.
to do is show up and show out. you know?
Exactly. That's exactly what it would be. Would you rather go to a store where every item is free or a restaurant where every dish is calorie free?
Ooh, restaurant where it's calorie free.
Yeah, I mean, you could eat anything you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you had to give up one of these two, would you rather give up knowing all your passwords or your secret handshakes to your friends?
Like, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know any of your passwords, or you wouldn't know any of your secret handshakes. Do you even have secret handshakes?
We have at least one.
Yeah.
I would give up handshakes, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean,
There's too many passwords.
Yeah,
How do you keep up with your passwords right now?
I fucking don't.
Really? I started a note in my phone to keep up with all my passwords because there's so many different apps and they all have a different criteria. If you're listening out there, for anybody going to create anything, make the password simple. Don't make it 20 characters with 3 exclamation points, and just make it simple, dude. I get so tired.
I agree.
Way
Like,
too many passwords, man.
and I always forget them, and then I'm like, fuck, like I don't know, and I'm resetting shit, and like,
Just too much, man.
yeah, and I'm also like terrified. I had my identity stolen one time in college.
Seriously?
Yeah, and so I'm so paranoid to like save my passwords anywhere. I don't even write them down.
God.
So yeah, I have like 5 or 6 like, and I'll like dump one and reintroduce another one, like 5 or 6 that I rotate. But I'm pretty constantly changing mine too.
Sheesh, dude, that's crazy. I hate updating my passwords. Loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Loud.
Yeah, me too. I could deal with that so much.
Yeah,
so much easier.
sometimes I'm a fucking loud neighbor.
Yeah. Marvel or DC?
I don't have an opinion.
I'm not big into them either. Drawing
Yeah.
or painting?
Painting.
Guitar or piano?
Guitar.
Nintendo or Sega?
Nintendo 64 if I can specify.
Oh yeah, that's one of the OGs.
Yeah,
Xbox or PlayStation?
I own both, but I'm just not a big gamer person. But and this is my like uneducated opinion, like super uneducated opinion. Xbox, because I feel like it's more connectable, like network wise,
PS4
like
same way.
Halo and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I know dog shit about it.
There's only certain titles of games that can only be on PlayStation and be on Xbox, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you can do it.
Whichever one I could jump on and play with the most of my homies with.
That's a bet. Book or Kindle?
Book.
Movie theater or arcade?
Movie theater.
Really? You don't like arcades?
Not that I don't like them.
You'd rather go to a movie.
Yeah,
than go to an arcade.
because going to an arcade is fun, like Bishop Cidercade and shit like that. Great time. I love to go, get a little drunk with a couple friends and like let's ball out, let's have a good time. But from an artistic standpoint, a movie theater is like, that is how movies were originally intended to be portrayed, as like a work of art.
Yeah, true.
And so I go for like the artistic experience where I'm like, hey, I'm going to go experience this.
Yeah.
And see, and I mentioned my buddy Tom, who does like camera work and stuff. He has me like thinking about film and stuff a lot differently now than I used to.
Dude, film is complex, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah. And so when I watch it, it's like, I'm like, it's like going to a fucking museum or like reading a poetry book. Like it's an artistic experience.
Yeah, I love movies, dude. I don't know. I really like arcades too, but I like video games. SpongeBob or Patrick?
SpongeBob.
Simpsons or Family Guy?
Simpsons.
Simpsons or South Park?
South Park.
Does anything beat South Park? That's my favorite cartoon of all time.
I don't think so.
It's hard, man. It's a good show. They keep up with pop culture, and the references are filthy, and I love it. And they like literally will make fun. Nobody's safe.
It's literally my brand of humor too.
Yeah,
like
nobody's safe.
I love dark, like fucked up, vulgar. Like the more profane it is, hit me with the business.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love some South
Yeah,
Park, dude.
absolutely, South Park.
Mickey Mouse or Dora the Explorer?
Mickey Mouse. Because whatever questionable things there may be about Disney, that is like an American staple.
Yeah, it is. Mickey Mouse is one of those, dude.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. All right, I got a couple other questions, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up because I know you got something to do. Have you ever Googled yourself?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
What did you find out when you Googled yourself?
I found out that for the most part, my record doesn't show up.
That's good.
Which is nice. Also, hey, Cass.
Hey, Cass. Cass is in the building, chat.
I found my Instagram. I found my... I also found out that there's just like a lot of motherfuckers named Charles Colby versus Colby Charles. Yeah.
Charles Colby.
Yeah.
Well, we call you around these parts Chuck Charles.
Chuck Charles.
That's what we call you.
But yeah, no, it's pretty boring, honestly, from what I've seen.
I've Googled myself. It's pretty basic. There's a couple of guys that have been arrested. Luckily, it's not my face up there. But
Yeah.
I for the most part, I show up. And then
That's like someone that had the same name and found out they died.
died, right? That'd be so
Fuck.
like, damn, I'm dead.
What a shot. Yeah, mugshots. Is Lowell's Gank, is that Cody?
That's Cody, yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a couple of them out there. I do not look stoked at mine.
Yeah. All right, I got a one last like question about your writing. I kind of want to go back to that.
Cool.
So I don't know if you ever heard like, do you know what the term Easter egg is?
Yeah.
Like in a movie, there's an
Yeah.
Easter egg. I've never actually put in like an Easter egg in anything that I've created. Have you ever? Did you put an Easter egg in this book? Is there any Easter eggs?
I know I said that like sometimes my poems are like not about like a person or a scenario or whatever. If the person they're about reads them, they know.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, so I guess in
Kind of Easter egg-ish then.
Yeah, in a way.
Mhm.
Actually, like the more Easter egg aspects of it, I keep like bopping this with my big old beak.
You're good. I'll just charge it to your tab.
Some of the Easter eggs here, though, there's some things like if you know me, you'll know like content consultant Joshua Littleman Yarbrough.
Oh my God!
So
Shout out to Pussy Arms. Shout out Pussy Arms.
So like the more Easter eggy things are going to come from like
The pictures.
the pictures. Yeah. So
Did you
like
take every single one of these pictures?
yeah, everything in here is me,
Oh, okay.
other than the cover.
Right. But
So-
all those pictures, you didn't like rip that from something.
No, it's all
Okay.
me.
Oh, interesting.
So like this photo for light is like a photo of the park that I run at.
Okay.
So like in Oak Cliff, shout out OAKCLIF.
Oh, Cliff, that's my hood.
Roots. Like if you know me, this is a photo of the front porch of my grandparents' house that I grew up in Mesquite.
Oh, damn. Okay.
They still live there, so roots
Mhm.
are appropriate.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Nature. This is when I was in Switzerland, and that's a photo of the Swiss Alps,
Oh shit.
and I was like walking back from a restaurant back
That's
to the
really pretty.
yeah.
I'd love to go to
So
Switzerland.
it's just
Dope.
little shit like that.
But so on every chapter, you put like a picture that you had taken personally.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
it's pertaining to the chapter itself. So
Right.
like weight, for instance. And I don't know if you've been here. That's at the back. That's walking out of the back bar at Bowen House here in Uptown.
Oh yeah.
Shouts out to Bowen House. You can actually go there and order a drink called Because Why Not.
Which
That-
is named after his book.
Yeah, after
First
my
book.
first book. It was on the menu for a while, but some of the OG bartenders there can still make
I
it.
ordered it the other day. They can still make it.
Yeah. That night, I don't know if this is like cool to share or what have you. First night I've ever did cocaine.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
a big boy.
And that's literally like walking out of the restroom and I was like, whoa. And I took a picture. That was like fucking 2017.
Oh wow. See, personally, I don't like cocaine. I just like the smell of it.
Yeah. Same. Love the smell. Hate the feel.
I hate the feeling. Just love the smell of it.
Love. I've talked about a couple of my siblings, but Love, that's my little brother, Connor. One of the first times I ever met him.
Yeah, cocaine smells good, but
And he's
all I
like
know.
riding a bike.
and you said there's a picture of Katie in there too. Bum cheeks.
Yeah, I probably won't show that one just for the shout out. Like you got to buy the book and read it if you want the good shit.
Yeah, if you want the good stuff, there's some butt cheeks in there. He did skip. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, beginnings. That's a photo from Twilight Lounge here in Deep Ellum when I was watching this band play with a chick like a long time ago. Miranda knows her. Shout out Summit. And then this is actually a painting of mine.
You paint?
I painted that.
Oh, okay.
I like to paint. I don't think I'm very good, but I
like painting too. It's
truly enjoy it. But yeah, so this one is a painting that I did. The story behind that one, me and Josh during like COVID and when it was real serious and all that stuff, we had an idea that we were going to do a bunch of shrooms and paint along with Bob Ross.
Dude, that sounds like a really good idea. Actually, I would like to do that.
And we went to Bowen House, bought their 5 for $30 burger box, bought like the mix and go cocktails, bought a case of Coronas because we thought it was ironic, made tea with this mushrooms, ate a couple. Like I literally laid out a sheet. I have all this painting supplies and stuff. And we think we're going to, because Bob Ross is intended to be like a paint along series,
Yeah.
right?
He like walks you through it. Yeah.
And so we turn it on, and this motherfucker opens it by like, oh, I already have it dried and it was in the cooker for 3 hours. Like he had done like immense prep work.
Yeah.
And this is right around the time that the shrooms are hitting too. And so me and Josh are like, man, fuck this guy and this fake ass premise. Like if you ask Joshua, if we called him right now and be like, hit me with your 2 cents on Bob Ross, he'd be like, he is a fucking pompous asshole.
Bob Ross is like sweet and nice and
yeah, no, fuck that guy. He's fucking chauvinistic. He's pompous. And nothing to do with the guy.
really, you don't. I think you're the first person ever to denounce Bob Ross.
And Josh would, and I know this without even asking him.
Bob Ross is rolling in his grave right
hey,
now.
Hey,
Poor guy.
y'all fucking get loaded up on a couple beers and some shrooms and try to paint along with him and tell me how good you feel about yourself and his little happy fucking accidents. Like fucking, the painting is done, bro. Stop. You don't need that level of detail. We're not fucking Picasso out here, you motherfucker. You don't need fucking pollen on the tree tips. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
With that being said, fuck Bob Ross. But man, today has been a great episode. Shout out to my boy Colbs. You guys put one word in the chat of how you're feeling with Colbs here. Personally, I had a great time. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you coming out and just hanging out. We getting to talk about the things we got to talk about. We'll definitely have to do this again. So this was a good introductory to the podcast for Colbs. You guys getting to know him. But yeah, man, do you got anything else?
No, it's I'm stoked. Yeah, this was fun. I love being able to see the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the chat.
But yeah, no, like you said, we've been homies for a while. I support everything you do. Love your music. Love what you've been doing content wise lately. It's always very entertaining. Like if I'm ever bored and I'm like, fuck, let's see what Levi posted today.
I got some content, baby.
It's always entertaining.
I'll be putting up clips of this podcast too, tagging you in them, putting stuff on it. So,
and I love what you're doing with this. Like I'm always excited for your next step. And getting to watch that. Like I've told you, like your level of preparation and like efficiency is unfucking touched. I think
all about it, baby.
But yeah, no, I'm super stoked to be here. If you want to read shit that I write that's really, really sad, you
Amazon,
can,
right?
Tales
and Turnabouts on Amazon.
You can find it on Amazon. Search Tales and Turnabouts, Colby Charles. It'll pull right up. But also, if you want, I have hard copies on myself. If you're in DFW, OKC, or Austin, I'll deliver it to you. Fuck it.
You heard what the man said. Well, hey guys, it was good. It was good to have you guys out. Until next time, you can shiggity wig wiggity big biggity bet that. My man Colby Charles. Make sure to follow him on the socials. What is it? Just Colby Steven?
At Colby Steven _.
At Colby Steven _ Brett Smacker, if you could put that in the chat. At Colby Steven _ That's on Instagram, and that's like kind of your main one right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know Liam doesn't do it. That's why I shouted yours. But yeah, man, it was good to have you guys out. I will catch you on the next episode. I may do another one tomorrow. Hop in the Discord. If you are not in the Discord, I put all the updates in the Discord. And also follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting up some clips of the podcast. That way, if you missed it, I'll get out the funny bits and put that shit up there. But man, it's good to have you. It was good to have you out. It was good to have you guys out. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. All right.
Peace.